नमस्ते सभी को. Just make a wild guess आज हमारे साथ कौन है podcast में. Mr. Mannan Tyagi, SIH winner for this year. So this podcast is definitely, it has a lot of value for the freshers specifically, क्योंकि काफी कुछ जानने को मिल सकता है आज हमें मनन के एक्सपीरियंस से definitely, because he has achieved some heights जो कि शायद का कुछ का भी ड्रीम है, right? So definitely this will be an interesting podcast. Life experience अभी तक का first year का experience and how he actually made it to SIH, right? So I won't waste much of your time. Manan, the mic is all open. Anything that you would like to talk about yourself?
Growth, consistency, idea, reality. It all begins at one point. Here. Want to know how the industry works or how to build yourself? Learn from experienced people from the industry. Subscribe to know more.
Hi Manish. So you introduced me pretty well. One more thing that I would add, like that I am pursuing second year in BTech at Mannan University right now.
Right.
So that's all me.
That's really great to hear. So Manan, we'll just like to begin with the first question, right?
Okay.
So मतलब हमारी प्रथा सी है एक तरीके से कि पहला क्वेश्चन हमेशा कंसिस्टेंट ही रहता है वीडियो में. So how has your story been till this point?
Yeah, the story has been pretty, adventurous and with ups and downs, and like how it begins with the start of like I started in April. I started coding, and I completed my board and I started coding. I did research on little bit language, like how to start coding. So I came upon, like, I started with C, and then I learned the basics, right? I learned the basic syntax and what is programming and how the languages are used, and then I did the basics there. Then I shifted to Python, and I started doing same thing, basics in Python.
Right.
Then I got to know that there are various frameworks in Python.
Mm-hmm.
So I started with like there's a library, if you know, Pandas,
Right.
that is used for data analysis and all.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a small project back in July about some data analysis kind of thing. So that was I started. Then university started. I came into Bennett, and I heard about that SIH. So I was like scrolling the internet, and I came to a post where I saw the winners of SIH 2022 from Bennett University. They were my seniors in third year,
Right.
and I was kind of inspired, and like I wanted to कि यार ऐसा कुछ करना है लाइफ में, मतलब कॉलेज लाइफ में I had to do this somehow.
Right.
So एक motivation वहाँ से थी. फिर post to September, I was also learning Python, doing backend development, and I figured out how to do front end development. I did HTML, I did CSS. So I was improving my skills hand and on. And in September, SIH came.
Right.
I found a team, participated in SIH, went through the internal rounds. Somehow by God's grace, got into the finals and won it. So that's about the journey till now.
Such a simplified explanation, but there is a lot actually involved in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of hustle, a lot of stories, a lot of adventure, a lot of failure,
Yeah, really.
and a lot of success as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it will be really great to know that how did you actually made it to SIH, right? And what was the project that you worked upon, and the approach that you set for yourself?
Okay. So SIH is an interesting story that I have. So like in college, when I found out that SIH is coming, so I was literally asking random people to join my team because I didn't know many people. You start करते हो first semester में, तो नहीं पता होता, कोई contacts वगैरह नहीं होते. So I used to literally go into libraries and ask to people like, भाई participate करना SIH में, भाई participate करना SIH में. So didn't receive a positive response from students. मतलब I felt कि यार लोग इतने interested नहीं है. मतलब जैसे I was fully motivated कि यार मेरे को ये करना है, इतना interested I didn't feel कुछ नहीं. So it was, I feel, a day before the registrations had ended. I didn't have a team. So somehow I was in a WhatsApp group, where a guy messaged that he is creating a SIH team. I instantly DM'd him like if he wants to take me and somehow. So I meeted with him, and we discussed some ideas, and we formed a team. We picked the members. He had some contacts with his friends. So somehow we built a team just before 6 hours of the registration ending. So that was a pretty interesting thing, and built a team. So after that, the problem statements come out, and we picked the problem statement. So for a reference, I would say, like, on picking problem statement, what we did was that we figured out what our team is good at. Like, our team had a AI/ML expert, and I was doing backend. My friend was doing frontend. So we had a diverse skills. So we figured out like what problem statements are suiting our skill sets, and we shortlisted some problem statements, and then we figured out the problem statement. So our problem statement was to create an air quality and water quality monitoring system,
right,
for the government of Kerala. It was a problem statement by government of Kerala. So we picked that, and as I told earlier, that I was learning data analysis in July last year. So I was doing something related to API only. The data set was about API. So I had an edge over that, like we had a start. So we worked on the project. We created the backend, we created the website. So we created a little prototype before the internal college round started. So that was the first ever hackathon that I had. That was an internal round of SIH. So it started. It was a 24 hours hackathon, and we had 2 rounds of judging. So we prepared the pitch very hard before the day, and prepared the PPT and fully ready for the pitching to the judges. And then the round starts. Our first round went very well. The judges were impressed. Second round also went pretty good, but I felt that judges were not too impressed. They had some suggestions for the project, so we took that suggestion and improved it. So after that, the results came, and actually around 250 teams had participated, and only top 30 teams had to be selected from the college for the finals in Smart India Hackathon.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, my team gets 62nd position in that. Okay, now you will be thinking, yaar, ye disqualify ho gaye, ye kaise hua? So, surprisingly, next week, the government announces that they are changing their rules, and they are taking top 100 teams from each valley. So we got a chance to participate in the final, registration for the finals. And my team was like on the cloud 9, and we were so happy and excited that we get finally chance to at least register for the finals and participate.
Yeah.
So, we took the feedback that were given to us by the judges in the internal round, improved our project, improved our PPT, and we registered for the finals, and we submitted our solution. So what happens is that you have to submit a solution on a platform of the SIH, and from there, only top 5 teams for each promo segments are selected for final round.
Right.
So basically, in Smart India Hackathon, whole India participates, like around 20 lakh students participate around Ireland. So only top 5 teams are selected from that. It's a big number, and the odds are like in 0.00% chances kind of thing. So we registered, and we thought like, okay, let's see what happens. But we were a little nervous that we won't be able to make it. Like we were in first semester at that time, and seniors were also participating, and we were a little nervous that let's see maybe what happens. So post 2 months after that, around in December, first week of December, the result came, and I was just scrolling through the website of where the result were announced. So I was finding like where's the team. So there were 5 teams, and I was in so nervousness, or you would say something like that I missed out my team name. I thought, oh, we didn't got selected. Then I was like, let me check one second. So I searched the team name on the website, and it was there, and I was like, oh my god, what happened just now? So I was just too excited, and my team, I shared it with my team. They were super excited, and we were like, finally we are going for the finals somehow, and we were super excited. So after that, we had our nodal center in Jaipur. So we had to travel to Jaipur, and it was a 48 hours hackathon. And there we also faced 6 rounds of judging, and we faced a lot of problems there as well. Sometimes our website crashed, what we created also was not working, or some issues were there, but we kept on fixing it. We listened to the judges and their feedbacks and implemented them, and we did this, and here I am now, SIH Winner 2023. So that's all about the journey.
That's a really interesting story, right? Actually, things just turned out to your favor somehow. It was the hard work that you put in plus luck at the same time, right? So
luck at the same time, for sure.
That's a really amazing thing. It was destined somehow. कि पक्का इतना जीतना ही है ना?
जीतना ही है, हाँ वही.
मतलब this is a really great story to listen to. मतलब sorry
yeah.
I'm very sorry.
Reality.
The word story. Yeah, so it's a really great reality. Yeah. So that's a really amazing overview about the whole journey. So what was the approach that you all built to actually just complete the project on time?
So actually, we had 2 guys for backend, 2 guys for frontend. One guy was doing AI ML, and we had a girl. She was doing UI UX design.
Right.
So that was our team. So we evenly divided our work. So I was working on the data analysis part. The other backend guy was working on the API development and all things. The front-end guys were creating the website. They did a very beautiful design that I was totally impressed with, and all of this were totally impressed by the design, and they appreciated the design.
Right.
So that was a thing that happened. And we approached the problem like that. What the government wants from what kind of solution they were needing. So it was a government problem statement. So we took the government's API that provides basically the data for the air quality indexes. So we used that. So we had an edge on that. Like we were using a government API, and we had the authenticity of the data. So that was an edge for us. And yeah, that was all about how we approached the problem.
Great, pretty great. So, how did you actually choose the team? Like once you had a team, once you were into a team of 5 people, right? So, how did you actually divide the roles? Like, what was the whole mindset before entering into the hackathon, the final round specifically?
Yeah. So basically, like at the time of choosing, so like I had the mindset to, as a dream that to win SIH. I was kind of looking for it in other members as well. So I talked to them, I had a discussion, I see what projects they had did, what coding languages they have done, what knowledge they have. So we had a great discussion, and I picked those guys through that, like if they had the motivation and they are seriously interested for SIH somehow.
Right.
That was my criteria to begin.
And how did you divide the roles? As in, before entering?
Yeah, so that was like pretty easy to. Basically, there were guys who were comfortable in only front end, and I was only comfortable in back end. So that's how we did split the roles.
Perfect.
Based on the company. Yeah.
Like everything just aligned in the right way.
Yeah. Everything just aligned in the right way.
Perfect. Yeah. Like it is really great to hear such an amazing. Yeah. So the next question will be how like any specific challenges that you would like to mention about the hackathon specifically that feel like कि हाँ ठीक है अगर ये हुआ इसकी वजह से actually we just justified something कि हाँ we built something really better because of that particular challenge that we faced during the coding.
So actually what happened was when we made an announce. We created an ML machine learning model basically that used to predict the values for the air quality indexes. So what was happening that it was somehow predicting very high values. So we were thinking like how to fix it. So somehow we got to know that we figured out that it was giving actually the previous last 7 days data. So it was not predicting the next further days, it was predicting next 7 days. So that was some issue in there. So we fixed that and we got the perfect predictions somehow. I don't know how it went. Like my guy that was working with AML, he improved the model somehow and we figured out it and we made it in the prediction. So somehow we got 90% accuracy in that and that was fantastic.
That's really great to know because 90% accuracy with the results, like with the
first
you try.
It's really difficult.
That's a really great. That's a really impressive overview about the project itself, right? Yeah. So this question will be a little bit specific to the students, right? Freshers themselves, right? The students who just now entered the university, right? अभी नया बैच आने वाला है, so definitely juniors, है ना? So like any recommendations that how can they actually search for better opportunities and how can they actually explore more opportunities, right? How to actually start with hackathons, right?
Okay. So one thing I would start with that मतलब बिल्कुल भी ऐसा मत सोचना कि you are like somewhat weak or you don't know coding and you are little weak and you would be thinking यार मैं कैसे participate करूँगा मेरे को कुछ नहीं आता. That doesn't mean like you can learn through hackathons also. That if you're participating, that gives a lot of new experience. Like presenting to the judges, working with a team. That's a totally different experience. So मेरा मतलब एक point of view उसमें ये होता है कि just don't be hesitant to participate. At least participate in hackathons and talk with people. You meet someone randomly if you're coming to the college new. Meet someone randomly, ask them some questions, and be friendly with a lot of us. Start making new friends.
Right.
And initially some communities are created. You can participate in. You can join those communities, and in various colleges there are clubs and chapters that are there. So you can join them and you will have a great network there. So basically, I would say, in short, networking is really important to participate in hackathons. You will find team members through that only.
Right. Yeah, and overall, it also helps in building the confidence to actually yourself and to talk about the things that you have worked upon. Because जब तक communicate नहीं करना जानोगे तब तक कुछ भी करते रहो तो revision कैसे करोगे?
or hackathon also basically you are communicating your project to judges. Like you have to make them understand what your solution. So it is a great platform to improve your confidence and improve your skills in some of that.
Yeah, and also the pitching skills specifically. That what to speak, when to speak, and how much to speak, right?
Yeah.
Specifically, that's a really great insight over it. Now, like, what's the roadmap for freshers? That how can they actually, like, build something of their own? How to actually get into such opportunities? Any specific roadmap that you will suggest?
So, what I followed was that I started with C programming language. Just pick the language, and start with the basics, like learn the syntax, learn what is for loop, what is variables, what is data types. These are some topics you can find on the internet. You can search them, and you can follow some free courses on YouTube. Don't need to purchase any paid courses. Start with some YouTube playlists. You can find very good playlists on YouTube, and start with that. Then build some basic understanding about coding languages, and then you can shift to Python. Like Python is very vast, and you will have a great experience of coding in Python, and you will have a great exposure about how things work in reality. Then what I did was that I started with front-end development. So basically I started with HTML, CSS, learned JavaScript, Then I dived into the frameworks of JavaScript like React.js, Next.js. I love that. Then I did Java. I went into Java. I did Spring Boot, Spring Boot, that basically for backend development for creating APIs and all. So I did that. And then now currently I also learned cloud services. I learned Azure. So I deployed a project on Azure. And and yeah, so currently I am learning, some Node.js index for that, and that could be a roadmap that freshers can follow.
Yeah, like something similar also you can just devise for yourself.
Yeah.
There is no need.
You can basically, one more thing I would add, you can basically see what will be taught in your curriculum. Like in my curriculum, there was first semester there was Python, second semester there was Java. So I picked Python and first semester completed that. Then second semester I picked Java, completed that. So that thing you can do exactly.
Right, understandable. And like बच्चे गलतियां करते हैं ना when they just enter into the first year. बहुत ज़्यादा exposure मिल जाता है एकदम से काफी सारी चीजों का. So they are diverted, right?
Yes.
मतलब ऐसा है कि if you have a certain goal, मतलब you have entered into the specific course that you have chosen for yourself, right? So you are there for education. You are there to just achieve something for your parents, right? मतलब enjoyment is definitely necessary.
Yes.
But the thing is कि actually you should be equivalently focusing upon the right things that you actually need to do to build your career, right? मतलब टाइम मैनेजमेंट इंपॉर्टेंट होना चाहिए इस चीज के लिए.
मतलब बेसिकली काफी लोगों का ऐसा माइंडसेट रहता है जो मैंने नोटिस करा है कि यार फर्स्ट ईयर है, हम तो एंजॉय करेंगे, हम कुछ वो नहीं करेंगे कि हम कोई बोलिंग नहीं करेंगे, पूरा एंजॉय करेंगे, एक्सप्लोर करेंगे. यार मतलब ऐसा भी होता है, तुम एक्सप्लोर भी कर सकते हो, बट वर्किंग हार्ड फॉर योर ड्रीम्स, फर्स्ट ईयर में ही कुछ अचीव करना है समथिंग बिग. लाइक आई अचीव्ड I won SIH and it was like a totally new experience. Like I gained respect from my peers, and I got new opportunities, right, because of SIH only.
Right, and the whole story will change after this.
Yeah, the whole story changes after that. Yeah.
Now you will just see the changes that happens in future, right? It will be easier for you to get into further opportunities, into big companies,
yes.
Because this is a very big achievement to have, right? So every student can actually, win multiple hackathons, and just little bit of efforts in the targeted way can actually change the whole destiny, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Acha, you also mentioned about the events, right? Us din pehle. That so what all events did you actually visit till this point?
Events I went in the get together event that was held in Microsoft office.
Okay.
I went there, and for freshers I would say go in these events. You would meet new people. You would meet some people that are doing really great in their field, and really get some great insights from these sessions. And it is a great opportunity to network. Like-minded people.
And बच्चों को initially they don't understand the value of networking, right?
Yeah.
You have already got the exposure of networking till this point.
Yeah.
Right. So how is actually the story changing for you now?
For now,
specifically.
For now, ऐसा है कि I got very new opportunities. So I got into community networking only. Right. And I found some like-minded people there. And now we are working on a startup. We have 8 guys and we are working on a startup day and night. And startup journey. So that's what we are doing right now. Networking opens really good opportunities for you. So it's very important.
That's really great to hear something like that. Like actually, hustle build karna is something that has really influenced me shuru se matlab. So
same.
Actually, working on your own ideas, like initial say, before the college or after the college, it is something really great. Actually, you get a lot of exposure from the industry itself.
Or basically, working hard and seeing your projects go on next level, it's not totally satisfying.
Definitely. Confidence build ho jata hai, ho jata hai. Definitely perfect. You're doing good in your life, definitely. And a lot of people will actually be influenced by this video itself. जो भी आता है, so they definitely got a brief overview, right? कि how has the journey been, how to actually target SIH, right? How to build a team, right? And how to actually work on the projects, right? Okay. So any resources that you would like to mention about for the students?
Yeah, if you are beginning, I would say don't go for paid places. You can refer some free YouTube playlists. बहुत सारी playlists हैं, मतलब कोई भी तुम channel पे खोलो. और बेसिकली द मेन थिंग इन दैट इज दैट कि तुम्हें समझ आना चाहिए बेसिकली, तुम्हें अंडरस्टैंड कि वो बंदा तुम्हें समझा पा रहा है कि नहीं. ऐसा नहीं कि यार कोई बेस्ट प्लेलिस्ट है तो उसको ही फॉलो करना है. जो चीज तुम्हें समझना है उसको फॉलो करो.
डेफिनेटली. That's I believe the key takeaway for this video.
Yeah, that's the key takeaway.
Perfect. Let's just end the podcast here. We have already discussed a lot in brief, right? Yeah. And I hope this really helped the students as well. So the mic is all open at the end, right? Manan, anything that you would like to mention, because it is quite impossible to cover everything in a single podcast, right? So any specific points that you would like to mention कि हमें शायद podcast में इस बारे में बात करनी चाहिए थी, and that will actually add value for the students, right? So anything from your side?
Yeah, so basically, it would be a final key takeaway, as you said, your final advice to myself is that don't be hesitant. Explore yourself. Find new people. Work with new people. Work with like-minded people. And don't be like that कि यार मैं तो चिल रहूंगा और मैं अभी एकदम से कहा यार start करके see what it brings to you.
Definitely, that's a very positive message. और in terms एक अच्छा life lesson ही है, learning that you have actually learned in the first year itself. And
Yes,
I understand कि इसका कितना impact पड़ने वाला है in future. अभी शायद you don't realize it, but आगे आने वाले 4 साल ना, like these 4 years will be amazing for you. I can guarantee.
Yeah, yeah.